everyone, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive. And today, we're going underground. Literally. We're exploring the hidden world beneath the White House. All those secret rooms and passages, and maybe even some presidential perks. We've got some great source material for this one, so let's get started.
Sounds intriguing. I'm always amazed by how much history and mystery is packed into that building.
Right, it's not just a symbol. It's a working building and a home. And apparently, it's also a bit of a fortress.
Well, they do have to keep the president safe.
Exactly. Which brings us to our first stop, the Situation Room. It's become this iconic place in our minds, where all those big decisions get made.
Oh, yeah. The nerve center of national security.
But it's not just one room.
Right.
Nope, not at all. It's actually a massive complex, over 5,000 square feet, packed with high-tech equipment. And it's constantly buzzing with activity. You've got over 130 people from the National Security Council working there around the clock, monitoring global events, processing intelligence reports, coordinating responses to everything from natural disasters to potential attacks. Wow, so it's like the ultimate command center?
Pretty much. And get this. It was completely renovated just last year.
Oh, wow. So they basically gave it a top-to-bottom upgrade.
Yeah, which makes you wonder what kind of new technology they put in there and what kind of threats they're anticipating.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the weight of the decisions that get made in that room. The information that flows through those screens is pretty intense.
Definitely high stakes. But speaking of high stakes, let's go even deeper, literally, to the underground bunkers.
Ooh, yeah, the bunkers. Now we're getting into some real doomsday stuff.
Right. We're talking about surviving a nuclear attack, that kind of thing. The first one they built was the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, the PEOC, built after Pearl Harbor when the threat of attack became very real.
So basically, a place where the president and key officials can go to ride out a major disaster.
Exactly. It's got secret elevators and vault-like doors and enough reinforcement to withstand a direct hit.
It's crazy to think about what it must be like to be down there.
I know, right? Like Laura Bush described it during 9/11, remember? She talked about these big steel doors closing with a loud hiss and this unfinished subterranean hallway.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's kind of a strange contrast. A place built for survival, but not exactly a five-star hotel.
Definitely not a place you'd want to spend a vacation. But even more intriguing is the Deep Underground Command Center, the DUCC.
The DUCC.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard rumors about that one. Supposedly, it's even more secure and secretive than the PEOC.
That's what they say. It's supposed to be located beneath the North Lawn, and it's rumored to have all sorts of advanced features. Radiation shielding, self-contained communication systems, even living quarters.
Wow, so they could basically run the country from down there, if they had to.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a chilling thought, but it makes you realize the length they go to ensure continuity of government.
Yeah. The world can be a pretty scary place. It's kind of unsettling to think that such a place even exists.
Definitely. But maybe we should shift gears for a bit. Something a little more lighthearted.
Okay, yeah, let's lighten the mood a bit. What do you have in mind?
How about some secret passages?
Ooh, secret passages. I like it, cloak and dagger time.
Right. There are all sorts of rumors about hidden doors and tunnels under the White House. One that's particularly interesting is the tunnel that connects the East Wing to the Treasury Building.
Really? A tunnel to the Treasury Building?
Yeah.
What do you think that was used for?
I don't know. Secret midnight rendezvous between presidents and Treasury secretaries?
Huh. Maybe. A quick escape route for a president needing a break from all the pressure.
Could be. The truth is probably more mundane, like secure transfer of documents or personnel.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it's fun to speculate.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of speculation, there's that unmarked door in the Oval Office that FDR used for discreet exits.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that. And there's that new tunnel and secret staircase that were built outside the Oval Office recently.
Oh, right. Accessed by a hidden wall panel. It's like something out of a spy movie.
Makes you wonder what other secrets are hidden within those walls.
For sure. But it's not all about security and secrecy. The White House also has a fun side.
Ooh. Like what?
Well, even presidents need to unwind.
Right, of course. They're only human.
Exactly. So it's no surprise that there are a few hidden gems designed for leisure and recreation.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Spill the beans. What kind of hidden gems are we talking about?
Well, for starters, there's a secret swimming pool.
Wait, what? A swimming pool? Where?
Right under the press briefing room floor.
No way. You're kidding.
I'm serious. Can you imagine the reporters up there completely unaware that a presidential pool party could be happening right beneath their feet?
That's incredible. It's like a whole other world down there.
It is. And then there's the bowling alley.
A bowling alley.
Yeah.
In the White House.
Yep, right in the basement.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the White House is this secret playground.
Well, not
That's-
exactly, but it does have a lighter side than you might expect.
I guess you're right. It's just funny to think about the juxtaposition of bowling pins and presidential pronouncements.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that even in the most powerful position in the world, the president is still a human being.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everyone needs a little fun now and then.
Exactly. But I think it's time we turn our attention to something a little more serious. The public's fascination with these hidden spaces and the myths and rumors that surround them.
Oh, yeah. The conspiracy theories. There are some wild ones out there.
Right. Like the one about a vast underground complex beneath the White House, far more extensive than what's officially acknowledged.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah.
And then there was that massive construction project back in 2010 that really fueled the rumors.
It did. People were convinced they were building something top secret down there.
It's amazing how much these hidden spaces capture the public imagination.
It is. I think it speaks to our natural curiosity about the unknown and our desire to peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, we all love a good mystery.
Exactly. And the White House, with its long history and symbolic weight, provides the perfect setting for those mysteries to thrive.
It makes you wonder what other secrets might be lurking beneath those perfectly manicured lawns and behind those stately walls.
Only time will tell.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from secret bunkers to presidential swimming pools.
It's amazing how much is hidden beneath the surface.
Right. It's like a whole other world down there,
Yeah.
and we've only just scratched the surface.
Exactly. There's so much more to explore. And we'll do just that in the next part of our deep dive.
So be sure to tune in next time, when we'll delve even deeper into the hidden world of the White House. See you then.
It really is like we're only seeing a tiny part of the whole picture.
Yeah. It makes you wonder why so much is kept hidden, why all the secrecy.
Well, I think it's a balance. Right. You've got transparency on one hand. The public has a right to know what's going on, especially when it comes to decisions that affect their lives. But on the other hand, there's a need to protect sensitive information.
Right. You don't want to compromise national security or endanger intelligence sources.
Exactly. And let's not forget, the White House has been a target for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Attacks, assassinations. It's a dangerous place.
So it makes sense that security is a top priority.
Yeah.
And that those security measures would evolve over time.
For sure.
Mhm.
Especially with new technologies and new threats emerging all the time.
Right. And nowadays, it's not just about physical security. I mean, cyber attacks, information warfare, that kind of thing. It's all part of the threat landscape now.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's like the battlefield has expanded.
Exactly. So protecting the president and the information flowing through the White House, that's paramount.
Absolutely. But thinking about it, all that security, all that constant vigilance, it must be pretty intense for the people who live and work there.
Yeah, I can't imagine the pressure of always being watched, always on alert, never truly able to relax.
Makes those hidden amenities seem even more important.
Right.
The swimming pool, the bowling alley.
Exactly. A little slice of normalcy in a very abnormal world.
I guess it's a reminder that even presidents need a break sometimes.
Everyone does. And it also highlights the fact that the president is still a human being at the end of the day.
With human needs and desires.
Exactly. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about the physical space of the White House and how it might influence the decisions that get made there.
Okay, interesting. So how do you think the architecture, the layout, the overall atmosphere, how do those things play into the whole power dynamic?
Well, think about the Oval Office, for example. That room is steeped in history.
Oh, yeah. The resolute desk. The portraits of past presidents looking down. It's pretty awe-inspiring.
Exactly. It's like the weight of history is right there in the room with you. And that has to have an impact on the way presidents approach their role.
Yeah, it makes sense. And what about those hidden spaces, the bunkers, the tunnels? Do you think they play a role too?
Absolutely. Imagine the clandestine meetings in those underground bunkers, the whispered negotiations in those secret passages. It all adds to this sense of intrigue and this feeling that something momentous is always happening behind the scenes.
It's like the White House itself is a stage, with both public and private performances happening simultaneously.
I like that analogy. And the audience isn't just the American people, it's the whole world.
Yeah, every word, every action, Every decision made in the White House has ripple effects that extend far beyond our borders.
It's a lot of pressure for one building and one person to bear.
For sure. But it's also a reminder that the human element is always present.
Right. Behind all the pomp and circumstance, behind the official pronouncements and the carefully crafted images, are real people grappling with real challenges.
Trying to make the best decisions they can.
Exactly. The White House isn't just a symbol. It's a place where families live, friendships are formed, and human stories unfold, alongside the grand narratives of power and politics.
It's a good reminder that history isn't just about dates and events. It's about people.
It's about the individuals who occupied those spaces, who made those decisions, who shaped the course of our nation, and it's about the countless individuals who worked behind the scenes. The staff, the advisors, the security personnel.
The unsung heroes.
Exactly. Their stories are often hidden from view, but they're just as important as those of the presidents they serve.
It really makes you realize that the White House is more than just a building.
It's a living, breathing entity, a microcosm of American history and identity.
And those hidden spaces, with their secrets and mysteries, they offer a tantalizing glimpse into the heart of it all.
They invite us to imagine the conversations that took place,
Yeah.
the decisions that were made, the moments of triumph and despair that unfolded behind closed doors.
And they challenge us to consider the complexities of power, the burdens of leadership, the sacrifices demanded of those who serve at the highest levels.
They remind us that history is never truly finished. It's always unfolding, always revealing new layers of meaning and complexity.
The White House, with its hidden spaces and untold stories, stands as a testament to that enduring truth. You know, we've been talking about all these hidden spaces, and it really makes me wonder, how do you think they reflect on how the presidency itself has changed over the years?
Oh, that's a fascinating question. Think about it. The White House started out as like a pretty normal-sized house, and now it's this huge complex, a symbol of power for the whole world to see. And those hidden spaces, I think they show how that's all happened.
So it's like a physical sign of how the job has gotten so much bigger and harder.
Yeah, exactly. Like early presidents, they didn't have to deal with the same kind of attention or security threats. They could just walk around and talk to people. But as the president's role got bigger, well, so did the need for privacy and protection, and all those special rooms to deal with global stuff.
And we talked about technology earlier, too. It's crazy to think how much the White House has had to change just to keep up with all the new gadgets.
Oh, totally. From horses and carriages to helicopters landing on the lawn, from handwritten letters to being able to talk to anyone in the world instantly, the White House has seen it all. But it still has to be that symbol of history, too.
It must be tough to balance all that, the old and the new.
Can you imagine, like, the ghosts of all those past presidents watching everything change from candles to fiber optic cables? The White House has been there for some of the biggest changes in history.
Makes you wonder what stories those walls could tell, what secrets they know about all the big choices that were made, the deals that were struck, the tough times people went through in those rooms.
We can only imagine. But it's a good reminder that history isn't just about dates and big events. It's about the people behind it all. The quiet moments, the tough talks, the wins and losses that shape a whole country.
And it's not just about the presidents either. It's about all the people working behind the scenes, the staff, the advisors, the security folks, all those people we don't see who keep things going.
It's true, their stories don't always get told, but they're just as important. Think of all those late-night meetings, the whispered phone calls, the little things they do to help. That's all part of the White House, too.
It's really amazing when you think of all the work and dedication that goes into being president. It's more than a job. It's like a whole way of life.
And I think that feeling of everyone working together toward a common goal, that goes beyond who the president is. It becomes part of the White House itself, a legacy that lasts longer than any one person.
Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the hidden world of the White House, what's the one thing you really want our listeners to remember?
I think it's this. The White House is more than just a building. It's a living, breathing thing. It represents America. And those hidden places, they give us a peek into the human side of it all. They remind us that power comes from people. And people are complicated. They have flaws. They have dreams.
That's a great way to put it. Thanks for taking this journey with me. It's